Hi guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Tamashii Nations, or is it Tamashii Nations? Let me know if I've been saying it wrong. I've always said it Tamashii, but I could be wrong. Is it Tamashii Nations? Because it might be. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correct. But anyway, this is the SH Figuarts Venom figure from the final Venom movie, The Last Dance. Now, they did release a Venom in SH Figuarts for Let There Be Carnage. They also did a Carnage figure. I was never big into SH Figuarts. I only got the Spider-Man MCU figures, and that was it. I didn't really branch out beyond that. But you know, this year I'm starting to branch out more when it comes to SH Figuarts and other figure lines and doing all of that. So this Venom figure is brand new. So thank you to Big Bad Toy Store for sending this out my way. It is in stock right now if you're looking to pick up Venom. Again, in stock right now. And they also still have the Let There Be Carnage version in stock, and that one's actually on sale. They're about the same price. I don't know if there's really any differences between the two figures. Based on pictures, it looks like the Let There Be Carnage figure is maybe a very dark blue as opposed to a black plastic. I don't know that for sure. If you guys are interested, maybe I'll do like, I'll pick up that Let There Be Carnage figure and do like a comparison video or something like that. That'd probably be helpful. If you're interested in seeing that, comment down below that you would love to see that, and then hopefully I can make that happen. But we have the Last Dance figure here, and I'm excited to check it out. So we will compare to the Marvel Legends Venom figure. This is from the first movie, and then we also have the Let There Be Carnage figure. This was the Target exclusive, which, by the way, Big Bad Toy Store just got a shipment of these guys. So this figure is also in stock right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So the Marvel Legends Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and the SH Figuarts Venom, The Last Dance, as well as the Let There Be Carnage figure. What they don't have is the SH Figuarts Carnage figure, so I don't have that to compare this Venom to, but I do have the Marvel Legends, so we could take a look at that. So you can see Carnage is about as tall as the box, so I'm thinking this Venom figure is going to be pretty darn tall. So looking at the package, it's pretty cool. We get this spot print Venom there in this bright silver, so you got to see it like in the lights to really be able to notice it. And then kind of the same thing on the box, Venom, The Last Dance, you got an image of Venom there. On this side, you got an image of Venom there. It says SH Figuarts is a standard action figure series that uses the art style and technology of Tamashii Nations to pursue character expression through humanoid action. And then here we have the figure, and you got it posed out a couple of different ways. So let's go ahead and get into it, and let's take a look at Venom, The Last Dance. Well, you know what? Let's do a quick little unboxing so we can see how the trays look. So there is the figure, and it looks like we get this like goop piece, and that looks like it connects to his back, so some tendrils. We get finger pointing hands, we get fists, and then open hands, and then one alternate head. So there is the Venom figure. Yeah, he's quite big. So looking at the Marvel Legends, he's about the same size, if not a little bit bigger, which is typically not the case with SH Figuarts figures. So size-wise, hey, that's pretty impressive. So it looks really good. So let's open it up and let's take a look. All right, so here is the Venom figure. Yeah, he is a good one. I'm really liking this. This is like the thing. I kind of get mad at myself. Not really, but like a little bit. And sometimes some of the types of figures that I just kind of miss out on having, you know, just really collected Marvel Legends or whatever the case may be. You know, I obviously had some experience with the SH Figuarts because I had all the Spider-Man, have all the Spider-Mans. So, you know, branching out into other characters besides just MCU Spider-Man, you kind of open up and see like, wow, like there's some really impressive things going on. Now, in an import figure world, there's SH Figuarts and there's Mafex. Mafex is probably my favorite line right now just because, man, they are so good. I collect every single Marvel Legend, so obviously that's kind of the winner. But like Mafex, the figures are just so good. I'm getting like every Mafex figure that comes out from here on out, for Marvel specifically, and then probably DC too, or maybe. But SH Figuarts, man, I need to get like any of these figures. I know there's been a bunch of MCU SH Figuarts. I know Big Bad Toy Store still has several different ones in stock. I might be looking to pick some of them up. But I'm really happy to have gotten this Venom because this thing is awesome. It just looks really good. And the posability is crazy because, let's face it, right? Marvel Legends cannot do what these import figures can do. They just can't. They look good and they move well enough. But but they don't move as good. So SH Figuarts just kills it when it comes to the articulation and things like that. So the accessories that Venom comes with, he comes with this tendril attachment that clips onto the back, so you actually get like this back piece, and then you can remove it so you can clip on those tendrils, and then it hides really well because, you know, it's just this shiny black figure. So that's pretty awesome that you have that. So you got these tendrils, and these tendrils are articulated in several different parts. So you got one ball joint right out the gate there, and then this thing can swivel and hinge around, so you can hinge it and swivel any which way you need. And then this tendril also has another ball joint swivel in there, so you can hinge it and swivel around any which way. And then the same for this one. It has the, you know, additional pieces there, so you can move that around right out of his back, and then over here you can adjust that and move it around in all kinds of crazy positions and everything like that. So it's pretty insane. And then other accessories, obviously we get the two different head sculpts. So we get just the kind of the standard smiling one, and then we got the one with the wide open mouth and his tongue out, which is crazy. You get the open hands out of the package, and then he's got a pair of fists that he comes with, which is good. And then you got the finger pointing hands here. So Venom is packed out, looking great. Let's go ahead and zoom in for a close-up look at those head sculpts. Okay, real up close here, we've got the Venom. This is the standard smiling sculpt, and that looks really good. There, he's got these gross looking yellow teeth. You can see a little bit of red in the gums over there, and then the eyes have a nice little shine to them, so that is good. To swap out the head, you just pop it off. It's got the tiniest little ball peg in there to hold the head in place. I was like, wow, that's kind of small. Why is it so small? I guess it's not a big deal. But it just seems just really, really tiny. Maybe that's just me. And then here is the wide open jaw head sculpt with the his tongue sticking out. You can see like the goo and his gums in there just kind of stretching out and kind of crazy. So this is a really good head sculpt. Pretty crazy looking there, so that's cool. But for the rest of the video, I think we're just going to keep this one on because it's kind of the normal looking one. He's obviously not going to have his jaw fully wide open all the time, right? The crazy design about, you know, Venom with no Spider-Man is there's no spider logo on his chest, so they went with the white veins thing, and I think that's the best compromise you could come up with, right? And it's painted really nice. The whole figure has this really nice sculpted, like gooey texture to it. And then it has this really nice shine, so you could just see the glare coming off of it, which is good because in the movie, you know, it's a living goo on Eddie, right? So it just has this shiny look to it, and it just has this liquidy, flowy look. And we get that on the figure, which is pretty crazy. But the white veins are painted nicely. You got them here on his shoulders, his chest, his torso, a little bit on the shoulder, and then you get some for the hands and the forearms there. They're painted really well. Really well. No issues whatsoever. I mean, even Marvel Legends did an okay job. And then you also get some of the veins on the back there. Typical SH Figuarts fashion, you get the crazy engineered like hips and things like that going on with like every Spider-Man figure and everything like that. Not all figures, most anime figures don't get this treatment, but it seems like Marvel is doing it. And then the upcoming Gamerverse Cyclops SH Figuarts figure seems to kind of go this route also. What the cool thing about it is it allows no gappage when you like get the leg go back, and then when you get it forward and stuff, you know, this cheek piece, you know, moves with it. So it hides gaps, which is good and allows for good articulation. So I understand, you know, why they do it. Just sometimes it looks a little bit odd, if we're being honest. But yeah, there we go with the Venom. Looking really good. Let's go ahead and jump over into his articulation. Okay, so let's go over the articulation. I put the tendril piece on there to kind of give you guys an idea of exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to these tendril pieces. In the context of it being on his back and coming out of his body, you know, how could those tendrils move around? So you can move them around this way. You can bring them up, down below, up high, over to the side, you swivel around, and then you can get it. I keep pulling it right out of there. So you could move it all around, and then this other piece, again, you could adjust any which way, which is really awesome. And you could do this, you could do this, you could do that, you could turn it, you could twist it, you can move it, you can hinge it. So really good stuff there. So got that out of the way. Just wanted to show you guys important, you know, when it comes to the figure. So Venom, he can look all the way up, like an insane amount up, like really, really high up. And then he can look down, all the way down. So the head itself, because it's on a ball joint, you can kind of maneuver around. And then it's also got a hinge in there, which is kind of crazy. So I don't think we typically see hinges on SH Figuarts necks, but that's also because I have limited experience with SH Figuarts. So if I'm just crazy in saying that, you guys let me know down in the comments below. But the neck itself can move down as well, as you can see, and then full rotation in that head, and then you can pivot around as needed just on that neck. That ball joint doesn't allow enough movement to pivot around, so it's just the neck itself that moves. The arms you can get to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You do have this butterfly joint that is similar to like a Mafex, so you could get it to drop down a little bit, you could raise it up a little bit, and then you could come forward. Ooh. Hold on. Peg hole in there. Ball peg. Let's get that snapped right back in. So crossbody is not very good, as you can tell. I tried to do some crossbody there, and that's when I pulled that right out of the peg. So that much crossbody, not a whole lot. And then the shoulder, the butterfly, it doesn't allow you to go back. It's just to be able to kind of shift forward a little bit, shift down a bit, shift up. So that's what you get with it. You got an upper bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow gives you a little just over 90 degrees in there. The wrists are on a ball peg and hinge, so you could swivel around and hinge any which way you need, which is good. We get the diaphragm cut and then a ball joint at the waist. So using both, you can get Venom to tilt to his left that much there. That's not a whole lot. You can get him tilt to his right. I feel like there's some resistance in there. Like you could get hit and then it just goes right back up. So tilting to the right's not a huge amount. Leaning back is really good, as you can see there, and then crunching forward is decent. The only problem is you do get quite a bit of gappage in there, unfortunately. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward very high, straight on out like so, and then you can get that leg to go completely far back, which is great. You have the thigh cut in there, the thigh swivel, double jointed knee, that much bend at the knee, and then you get an ankle swivel, and then you can hinge down all the way. You can hinge up only a little bit. You get some good ankle pivot in there. No peg holes at the bottom of the feet, but you do get toe articulation in there. So that is the articulation for Venom, and in my opinion, that is pretty good. Okay, so let's go into the side-by-side comparisons with other SH Figuarts figures. So here we have the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire next to Venom. We did have a Venom in his movie universe, but it was not at all like this Venom. I would still love to see SH Figuarts, Mafex, Marvel Legends do a Venom, a Topher Grace Venom. I'd still like to see it. Like, the old Marvel Legends figure is actually kind of nice. They made it larger than, you know, compared to what he was in the movie. But I'd still like to get it. Like, I know it's crazy to think, but, I mean, I'd take it. You guys let me know what you guys think. But we've got Tobey Maguire in there. Let's do Andrew Garfield in there, and then what could have been if they tied those two universes, which a lot of people speculated, which just ultimately did not happen. And then we have our tasty treat or tasty snack. I can't forget in that Venom post-credit scene where he watches the newscast and he sees Spider-Man in there. You know, I think it was Spider-Man in the red and black upgraded suit. This is still probably my favorite SH Figuarts figure. I just really like the way this one looks and came out. Although the final swing suit is pretty gosh darn nice there. We have that, but, you know, I don't want to forget, you know, No Way Home wise, we've got the integrated suit there for Spider-Man, or for Venom, to what could have been, which almost crossover, kind of is, but kind of not, kind of retcon. It was all weird. And, of course, here is the Marvel Legends Venom with the SH Figuarts Venom, and you can see SH Figuarts is just a tad bit bigger. And the best part is, it is just a more defined sculpt work on the SH Figuarts, whereas the Marvel Legends, the sculpt work I thought was always pretty good, but you know what? SH Figuarts takes it to a whole other level and really gets into like the gooey grittiness of the texture, whereas Marvel Legends went a little easy on it in comparison. Now, compared to other Marvel Legends figures, this thing went crazy, right? But the two next to each other, it's like, oh wow, it's like looking at standard definition and high definition type of thing. So whole just really different level in there. And then if you want to compare, you know, the Let There Be Carnage Marvel Legends figure We've got that there. And again, this guy is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. They just got some in like the other day, which is crazy because I know it was kind of hard to find at Target. Because, you know, Target exclusives seem to be difficult to find again all of a sudden. But we got our 2 Venoms there, and you can see that's basically the same as the first one. Just like this might be basically the same as the Let There Be Carnage version. Again, if you guys want to see a comparison of that, let me know, and you know, I'll order that that Let There Be Carnage SH Figuarts Venom. And then we have our Marvel Legends Carnage. I wish I had the SH Figuarts oh, jeez, he's tall. I wish I had the SH Figuarts Carnage. I heard he was massive, he was huge, and I really would have loved to have gotten it, but I was just not collecting SH Figuarts at the time. But now I am, and obviously it's just too late to be able to get it. So maybe they'll reissue it one day. Who knows? If they were to reissue it, I would definitely get in on it. But this size comparison is not too bad. I think the problem here is that Carnage was so huge in the movie, and that's one of the things that I really didn't like about the Let There Be Carnage movie. In my opinion, Venom should be bigger than Carnage, but you know, it's all up to, you know, people making the film and kind of the direction that they want to go with it. It's just, to me, I always thought it was weird. So looking at this size comparison, obviously Carnage is bigger and Venom is here. I think in the movie there was a much bigger size difference, so I imagine the SH Figuarts Venom or Carnage, excuse me, had to be really huge, and I don't know how he compared to the Marvel Legends. Maybe I'll watch a video on that, but probably would have been crazy. Okay, so that's my review of the Venom figure. I think he's awesome, and it's one of those, like, man, I should have been on the SH Figuarts train a long time ago, because really, really good stuff with these figures. Yes, the hips look a little weird and a little over-engineered, but the articulation is pretty crazy. And looking at, like, Venom, where it's just the gooiness and everything, I got some red lights shining off of it. This just looks beautiful. I mean, creepy, but like beautiful. Let me brighten it up a little bit for you guys here too. But just, I mean, look how good that look. It just looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. Again, if you're looking to pick up this SH Figuarts Venom figure, it is currently in stock right now at BigBadToyStore.com. The Let There Be Carnage Venom is also in stock. That one's on sale. I'll have a link to that one. Again, I don't know the difference. If you want to see a comparison video, let me know in the comments below. If enough people say they want to see it, I will order that figure and I'll do a comparison. And then if you want the Marvel Legends Target exclusive Let There Be Carnage Venom, that is in stock right now. I'll have a link to that as well. But yeah, I'm just really liking it. I think it just looks fantastic. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.